What's going on, everyone? This is Lior and welcome back to the channel. Now, as you can see, I am obviously driving right now. I am heading over to a project site of mine right now. I got to meet a contractor and check on some work that's being done there. So what I thought I'd do is give you guys kind of an update on that project. I'll obviously show you the inside once I get there. And I'll also give you guys an overview of some of the things that have gone wrong, right? Because a lot of you guys are super interested in construction, doing potential flips or renovating and doing rentals like I'm doing. So I'll give you the inside scoop on some of the things that you'll never think about that can absolutely blow up in your face. So hopefully it's going to be helpful. So with that, we're going to get right into it. What's up, guys? This is Lior, and as I said, welcome back to the channel. Now, before I get into it though, super quick, if this is your first time on my channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. I put out tons of videos every single week talking about investing, real estate investing, apartment buildings, how to create wealth through that. So if that's the content you're looking for, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Now, let's get right into it. So before I get on site, like I said, I wanted to share some of the things that have kind of blown up a little bit in my face in this project. Again, every single construction project that I do, I expect something to go wrong. It's just the nature of construction. So as an overview, this is a 4-family property, 4-unit property that I bought, I think it was February, and we're completely gut rehabbing it, right? So when I get on site, you'll see we literally demoed everything to the studs. We're going with brand new everything, right? We're reframing the building, putting in brand new plumbing, putting in brand new electrical. They're gonna go up with new walls and then put in all new finished carpentry, so new kitchen, baths, floors, all that fun jazz. Now, again, all this stuff sounds really sexy and like fun on paper, but there's a lot of things that can really go wrong on the construction side. So on this project, I had 2 things so far that have cost me both time and quite a bit of money, and both are important, right? Because time, if you're, don't forget, I'm sitting on a mortgage here, right? It's a construction mortgage that's a little bit more expensive, so that's costing me money, as well as I've incurred other costs that I just didn't foresee. So the first cost that I incurred that I didn't really foresee was actually needing to hire a structural engineer. And the reason that happened is because, again, these are old. I'm in Boston. These are super old buildings, right? I mean, these buildings are literally from the 1900s, right? And over time, I mean, if the owners that have owned them don't maintain them super well, they obviously go bad, right? I mean, stuff happens. So in this particular building, a lot of the framing and like a lot of the framing around the building and even like the exterior walls, what we found once we demoed the property was a lot of it has rotted out. And the issue with that is it kind of compromised a lot of the structure. And when we were applying for a permit from the city, when the inspector came in to check it out, right, he saw all of that and he's like, hey guys, like, this is not just your average demo job. I'm seeing that there's some potential like structural issue. And obviously once the inspector says that, the city gets involved, and they told us the only thing we can really do to fix that is hire a structural engineer and figure out how we could put additional supports throughout the building to make sure it's really safe. So we had to hire an additional structural engineer. So in terms of cost, that cost me an extra $6,000, which in the grand scheme of things, I mean, this is a $500,000 project. So, you know, $6,000 is not a crap load, but still not fun, right? Because it's a soft cost, so it's not something the bank will reimburse me for. That's something I had to stroke a check for out of pocket. And then not only that, it, again, probably even more expensive for me is it cost me time, right? By the time we got some proposal from structural engineers, by the time we finalized a contract with one, by the time he actually did the work, that was probably another month and a half or 2 months that passed, right? And that delayed me from getting my full building permit, so it delayed me from being able to complete my framing and start my rough plumbing and rough electrical. And again, this is, I'll give you guys the numbers behind this. We bought the building for $800,000. We have a $500,000 construction loan, and we had to use a hard money loan, right? I've done other videos about that, or explaining what hard money is, but that's an expensive mortgage, and my monthly mortgage payments are probably now $5,000-6,000 right now. So with that additional 2 months that passed by because of that structural engineer, that was another almost $10,000 I incurred. So between the time and the actual cost of the engineer, that was a $15,000 issue that I could have just never foresaw, right? I mean, you don't really know until you get behind these old walls. So that's one thing that, again, you just have to adapt and really figure out very quickly on site, like, hey, this is what needs to happen, this is the cost it's going to be, and we didn't really have a choice, right? We had to do it. So if that wasn't fun enough, I had another pretty big issue come up. On our framing, what our framer ended up finding out was that there's a part of the house that's in between the foundation and where the actual house starts. And I'll show you guys this once we get into the house, that has also rotted out, right? And it's this like little platform level on top of the foundation where the actual house sits on. And our framer told us, hey, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but that has completely rotted out. And that increased our framing quote by almost $40,000. So we literally thought we were gonna spend like maybe 65,000 bucks on framing. The framer came back and said, because of this issue, I'm gonna merge left, so hold, give me one sec, there we go. So because of this issue, you're gonna spend, instead of like 65,000 bucks, you're gonna actually spend 100 grand on literally framing. We're still trying to resolve this issue right now. We're like trying to beat them down a little bit on that number. I'm actually trying to get a few other framers involved to see if I can kind of gut check that number and see if that's reasonable. It sounds like it probably is gonna be a legitimate issue, and that is the legitimate cost of fixing it. So right there and there, you can see that I had $15,000 in issues with the structural engineering. Now I got hit with $40,000 in additional framing costs. So between that's another 60,000 bucks of additional costs that I just am about to incur. All right, so we are on site now. We've arrived. Welcome to 61 Clifford Street, right over here. And we're gonna go inside and check out what's going on over here. So as you guys can see, done a lot of exterior work already. We already put in brand new windows. We have the Tyvek up, so we're just waiting for our siding delivery. So we have made some exterior progress, which is awesome. And we're gonna go check in. One side is a little further along. We've got some plumbers in there. The other side is where the foundation issue is. I'll show you guys, but let's go inside and check out what's going on. All right, so this is the interior. As I said, we are on this side is actually, the framing here is all set because this side of the property does not have an issue. And you can see we framed out everything. So the way it's actually gonna be the first floor, this is gonna be a 2-bedroom unit, so I can show you guys. This is right here. It's gonna be a nice big kitchen with a living space. It's got the nice bay window as well, right for it, which is fantastic. So then the rest of the unit is also really nice. You've got a very large bedroom here as well, right over here. And by the way, I don't know if you can tell, but the ceiling height here is amazing. So again, you got our bathroom right over here, and then the second bedroom over here. So this will be an awesome 2-bed, 1-bath apartment. And you guys can see, so the framing's done here. And as you can tell, we just have plumbers starting right now. So you can see they're starting to get going over here. They're starting to put in their rough plumbing. We got some more rough plumbing over here as well. So on this side of the house, we're actually doing really well. All the contractors are really cruising, and we're doing really good. So let's go check out the other side of the house, because that part of the house is a little further behind. Going to the other side of the house. So this is the side of the house that still needs to be finished with framing. Again, this is where we're still trying to work out with our framer about the price and exactly how to approach that framing problem. You can see we're still a little bit behind on this side. We still need to frame out this part. So this is identical layouts as on the other side. So this is kind of like your kitchen living space. Same exact layout. We're gonna have 2 bedrooms in the back. But again, we're just further behind here because we're still trying to figure out that problem with the framer. All right, and I'll show you guys also the upstairs too, just so you get a feel. So the upstairs is gonna be different. The upstairs is actually gonna be a large 2-level unit on both sides. They're gonna be huge 4-bedroom, 2-bath units. And you can see still kind of similar layout. You still have kind of like bedrooms in the back. You have another bedroom over here. You have your living and kitchen space in the front. The only real difference is you have essentially another level where it's gonna be 2 more bedrooms and another full bath. So kind of similar, but just a little bit different. And actually, if you guys wanna see something cool, if we avoid where all the floorboards are still missing, you can kind of see, you can see the other side of the building here, right? Because these are technically deeded as 2 separate properties, even though they're attached. And you can see it, that side of the building is well ahead as opposed to this one. So hopefully you enjoyed the tour of the construction side right now. Hopefully that makes sense too about those issues were inquired. Again, flipping is all good and well, and if you watch things like HGTV, they obviously make it look super fun and sexy, but they don't always show you the crap that goes on behind the scenes. This is the type of stuff you're gonna be dealing with if you wanna do renovations, right? There's unexpected surprises. It's stressful because you're managing typically large construction budgets. Again, this is a $500,000 construction budget that we have to manage properly. So when you have additional unexpected surprises, it's just one of the things you gotta adapt. It happened on my first couple of projects, and it's still happening after my 10th project, or whatever number this is, I don't even remember. So hopefully it makes sense, guys. Obviously, if you have any questions, make sure you shoot them below, and I'll be sure to make more videos on this property as we continue to make progress here.